blue, 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 blue.
There are no more teams. It's every man and woman for themselves.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to The Reality Guys. Brett here to talk about the Challenge USA episodes 7, 6, and 5. Let's get started. So obviously kicking things off with episode 7, Wes just joined the blue team after winning his elimination, and he is now ready to build a strong alliance with the other veterans in the house, mainly on the blue team, and then you got a few like Corey and Josh on the red. So the daily challenge for this episode, we got wreck and roll, which is basically we have 16 towers with 32 tires total, and the teams have to put 2 members in a ball and roll that metal cage around and knock it platforms off. And then the rest of the teams, they go and grab the tires and go take them up a hill. We're then taking those tires up to a puzzle where you have a few words already, or a few letters already in place, trying to spell out 5 words, 5 letters long. It looks like a Wordle. And blue, obviously, they take the early lead. They have the most players. I counted, they have 7 on their team, 4 guys and 3 girls, whereas red is 5 total with 3 girls and 2 guys. And then green's the reverse. They have 5 people, 2 girls, 3 guys. So blue, they have more people to pick up the tires. They end up winning this puzzle. I like this daily challenge. I thought it was fun. I would have loved to be in that metal ball and roll that thing around. I think could have done well at that, as well as the carrying the tires up and then solving the little Wordle puzzle. So it was a solid daily challenge. Blue takes the win. And that leads us to deliberation, where they decide they want to go after the survivors. Survivors have the most people in the house, and it's time to start taking those numbers out, is what the vets decide. Josh is sort of steamrolling this idea too, but he wants specifically a survivor girl. So they all decide to basically tell Tyler he's going to be a pawn. They got to throw either him or Monty in to the elimination racket thing. Obviously, Josh and Corey aren't going to volunteer as pawns. And I guess maybe it makes sense because Tyler's the least threatening of the 4 available guys, possibly. And they also put in Michaela, who's probably the most threatening girl available that's not on the blue team. After deliberation, it's time for everyone to go to the bar and party. And this is where we get a funny scene with Bananas and Wes telling Alyssa that Tyler likes her and that she needs to start dirty macking with him, or Tyler's going home. So that lucky dog, man.
Tyler, this one just worked out for me.
We will do everything in our power to make it a girl day, as long as you make it a girl night.
So we're down in the pit for the elimination, and it's time to go to the hopper. And we end up having 4 different people get 1 ball put in. Tiffany, she's got 2 balls in the hopper. Chantel's got 4. She's clearly the target. They want Chantel to go against Michaela on this one. And then obviously they don't want Tyler going in. And it turns out that, unfortunately for Tiffany, one of her 2 balls gets called, and she calls out all the scared ass men and yells at Josh for wanting to take a shot at women. And then now she has to go in against one of her girls and Michaela. And this challenge they do top heavy, where they have to rock back and forth on this carnival game looking thing, shooting basketball baskets. For me, I thought it was kind of boring to watch on TV. It definitely looks like fun to participate in. It looks like something more you'd want to do at like a Six Flags than on the challenge. But Tiffany, unfortunately, she gets completely dominated. I'm yelling, hoping that it's a 10-0. I'm yelling 10-0, let's go. I want to see Tiffany get completely shut out on this thing. But then, okay, she got 1 basket, lucky shot. And she ends up losing 1-10 against Michaela. And Tiffany, you know, she's a really entertaining, strategic person, but she just may not be cut out for the challenges themselves. That leads us to the end of the episode, where, of course, Michaela, her plans did affect the blue team. Take out Tori, send her over to green. But TJ has other plans, and this is where we find out that we're going to go individual challenges from here on out. So I do like blue team, and I like the team dynamic and the strategy of the hopper, but the individual game should be pretty interesting to watch, and I'm here for it. All right, so now jumping back in a week ago, episode 5 and 6, this was the combination episodes of the Operation Hat Trick that the vets pulled off. Basically, the intro of episode 5, we just lost Greens, Lewis, and Amanda, and Chris was being a dick to the green guys, and we enter the daily challenge for this episode 5, which is unboxed. I did enjoy this one, and I really enjoyed the strategy behind it. So this is the one where basically they have to run 2 miles. Everyone's carrying a box with their own weight in it, or with their own, you know, something relative to their body weight. So I like Wes's plan, where they think, okay, Monty's the biggest, heaviest guy. Let's solve his puzzle, get that box gone, and then we're just going to skip the rest and hoof it to the end. So this is kind of similar to how he won Fresh Meat, where they basically just skipped all the puzzles, carried the weight. It wasn't that far of a run, only 2 miles here. So West team, Green team, they end up taking the win on this episode. And I thought that strategy was pretty smart. It may not have paid off, but in this case it did. So I enjoyed seeing it. However, so the elimination we get on this episode, it ends up being Alyssa. She has one ball just randomly thrown in from the hat trick Tory vote. And she goes in against Cassidy in some weird cage rolling contest. I actually didn't like this one that much. It was really hard to see what was going on and gauge because you're either seeing the girls flop around in the cage or the cage slowly moves side to side. And at the very end, when you had to kind of line up and reach outside to solve whatever little puzzle pieces they had, it seemed pretty complicated. And unfortunately, lost Alyssa Lopez on this one. And yeah, we need a better ending challenge than that, we need a better elimination in the future. This one I'm not a fan of. The next two challenges, though, from episode 6, obviously I am a huge fan of. And so this episode kicks off with Dusty being an a-hole towards Tiffany, blaming her for the 4 votes that came his way from the hat trick thing. And of course, he's completely wrong. He looks like a dick. And we'll see how this plays out for him later. But so the daily challenge was the high IQ. And actually, this is probably my favorite trivia challenge of all time. I loved how they were having to stick to the glass. That was a lot of fun. And I loved how they were answering trivia as a team. And instead of sabotaging, it was literally just cranking the thing up more until they fall off the wall. I really enjoyed it. Would love to do it. Would love to see it again. Bring it back, please, for trivia. And also on this one, so Dusty, he fell off after like 2 or 3 clicks, I think. So he probably did the worst of every guy or every person in this challenge. He did not perform well. And then you had Alyssa and Tiffany. They performed extremely well. They somehow hung on when the thing was near vertical or 90 degrees. And Alyssa, she actually fell off because she removed her hand. She was sticking, and she like goes to scratch her nose or something, and then she's still sticking, and then she slowly falls down. Similar situation with Tiffany. She's kind of there, stuck, and then boom, just goes.
Lower her down. Can she hold on still? Tiffany's staying strong. Tiffany is staying strong.
Oh my God.
And then so we see Wes, he starts campaigning for everyone to vote a woman so that he doesn't have to go in. But of course, that doesn't work. Everyone's like, nope, we're sending in Wes, the vet. And Wes is Wes is the winning team, blue team's nomination. And of course, we see Wes, he's upset because he thinks this is his last challenge. I know me and Kevin, we were talking last week how we think Wes is probably going to retire for forever, or definitely the near future, since he's about to have a kid. He's got a lot of businesses going on. So I know there's dads in the show, but I definitely don't think Wes is willing to, walk away from what he's got at home once his kid's born and, the other stuff he's doing. So we may never see Wes again, or it's going to be a long ass time. Meanwhile, Corey and Dusty are like, I already got kids, bro. Why don't you shut the hell up? You call me a bad dad for being here? So, but I think Wes, he definitely, at least I think he'll be absent for a while. So now here we are with the elimination crankshafted. We have Wes versus Dusty. Dusty's ball gets called. Wes was the house nom. And basically, I did like this challenge as well. I think there was some strategy to it. The way that they had to decide which knots to untie. There was 3 posts to get little wheels, and you go and spin the bigger wheel to knock the guy off. I definitely thought Wes was at a disadvantage, though. He had to go first, so he had to untie the knots first so that Dusty could kind of see how hard it was to get knocked off to the wheel. And Wes, of course, he goes with he brings a little tiny thing and tries to spin the big wheel, and it's not moving at all. So he wastes some time there. He has to go and unlock the second piece to then finally get Dusty off pretty quickly. And then Dusty, he basically realizes this. And so on his turn, he decides to just not even waste his time with the first wheel and go to get the second. And he gets Wes off pretty quick as well. I know there was some discrepancy with what's going on with this one. Apparently, they were separated by like 37 seconds, and Wes ends up winning, but the whole house thought Wes had lost. So if that's actually accurate or not, I wish we saw the full thing, full live stream of the competition so we could see for ourselves with the timer. But I thought they both had a really bad strategy for when they were on top of the wheel. They were both going side to side, kind of trying to shuffle the wheel. It didn't really look like they were getting, switched in opposite directions at all. So if you I feel like get into a running position and just jog on the wheel, you might have been able to last longer.
I'm gonna dance like a monkey on top of that thing. Here we go! Nail biter.
But both guys get knocked off pretty quick. And here we are. Wes decides to defect to blue, join the blue vet squad, which obviously doesn't matter anymore because they're going to individuals this upcoming Sunday. So yeah, thanks for if you watched this far. Trying to do 3 episodes at once is kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm going to really, really try to get myself or one of the other guys to actually do the episodes right after they air. And also while they're a little fresher in our minds. So, please hit the like button, the subscribe button if you haven't. And, hopefully we'll see you back next week on Sunday or Monday when the next episode drops for 8. See you.